Welcome to Dangan for this electric Ireland Sigerson Cup encounter of NUI Galway and the holders UCC. Well, earlier on in the Fitzgibbon Cup encounter of the same two colleges, we got a tight encounter. I wonder, will we get something as tight in this game? Remember, there was margin for error in that game because the Fitzgibbon Cup is a group format. This isn't. This has to be settled today. So a giant will fall in the rain by the Corrib. It'll either be NUI Galway or UCC. Matthew Ruan of Galway, what a player he is. He's going to be central for the tribesmen today if they're to have any chance of winning this game. Finian Hanley, former Galway defender, is with me for this encounter. Finian, what are you expecting? NUI Galway up against UCC.
Yeah, Oisin, it should be a tight affair. I suppose they've met over the last 2 years. NUIG winning in 18 and UCC pulling away towards the end from a couple of goals from Sean O'Shea last year. So they know each other well, and they'll be, very familiar with each other's style of play. So it should be very tight. The rain is pouring down here in Dangan. The pitch is in relatively good condition after the hurling game. So yeah, it should be a cracking game. Obviously, it has to be settled today. So there's a lot at stake.
Let's have a look at the teams. Well, for NUI Galway, there is one late change. Dropping out is Kevin MacDonald of Sligo. He's been replaced by Louth's Kevin Carr. Owen O'Donoghue is the full-back, a man who has got championship game time for Mayo. Conor Campbell, another man with lots of experience for Galway at underage levels, but he's building up quite the reputation for himself. Cian Darcy and Matthew Ruan, who we've already spoken about in midfield. Up front, they'll be looking for Nathan Mullen to kind of plough a furrow through the UCC defence, but they've also got Robert Finnerty in there. He's a good finisher. Of course, he's the son of Mayo legend Anthony Finnerty. For UCC, well, it's a galaxy of stars. Liam O'Donovan has impressed for college and county in the last season or so. Graham O'Sullivan from Kerry, the exact same. Michael Flood and James McEntee, two Meath men in the half-back line, along with Sean Wilson. What a midfield. Padraig Lucy and Diarmuid O'Connor. Killian Spillane, well, he's been a busy boy this weekend. He starts at centre forward with fellow Kerrymen Gainey and O'Shea beside him. James Naughton of Limerick has Sigerson experience with UL. Sean Powder and David Shaw, inter-county players, flanking him on either side. Sean O'Shea is last year's Player of the Year in this competition. He is an immense talent. I don't think we need to build him up much more, Finian, but let's do it anyway.
Yeah, he is obviously Young Player of the Year last year and winning his first All-Star. I'm sure he'll go on to win many more, but phenomenal player. Conditions not ideal today for free takers, but he's one of the top marksmen in the country, so he'll earn it out here today, but a quality player.
An absolutely quality player for NUIG. Well, so much will rest on the defence and what they can do to hold out UCC. Owen O'Donoghue, he's very calm, cool and collected for a man of his age, and he's quite the footballer.
He is, yeah. He's he's great experience over the last couple of years with Mayo. He's tenacious, he's tight, obviously at number 3, but he can carry the ball as well.
Well, you went to college here, Finian. You were desperately unlucky to miss out on a Sigerson Cup title by a season. You played for 4 years. Have you ever seen a day as bad as this one?
We get a lot of rain here by the Corrib, but no, conditions are bad. I suppose there's a lot of rain, but the pitch isn't in too bad condition, so should be an interesting affair.
Well, we're ready to rock. It is UCC against NUI Galway. John Gilmartin of Sligo is our referee. The rain is bucketing down, but we still expect a really good encounter. As per usual, UCC have made a late change or two. Brian Hartnett is in. He wasn't in the starting 15 named. Cian Darcy roaming forward, collides with James McEntee, puts it inside for an early goal chance. This is Ollie! And it goes over the bar when maybe, just maybe, he could have gone for goal.
Very direct there by Cian Darcy. Just threw his man out of the way, popped the ball through. Great start from NUIG.
Boland. What a really good start for NUI Galway, starting with intent. Padraig Lucy going after this one. Picked up by Claffey. UCC say that he was out of bounds, but they play on. Here is Matthew Ruan, not afraid to take on all comers for UCC. Ruan, good hand pass, floats it in the air brilliantly. Running down the park with it is Kevin Carr. We know he can move. A bouncing ball out in front brilliantly was Keneally, and Keneally can't keep it on target, didn't catch it right, didn't set himself right.
No. Notice the link up there from Desi Keneally and Robert. They've been playing with each other in minor and under 20 for the last couple of years. They know each other very well, so it'll be interesting to see how they got on as a pair.
Absolutely horrific conditions, but a bright start for NUI Galway. Good intercept by Ruan, who takes the mark. Ruan inside, really good kind of bouncing balls into the full forward line, and a really good finish to the match as well by Robert Finnerty.
Yeah, Robert has showed twice now, won 2 balls, set up one and kicked another, so a confident start by Robert.
Well, he was sick this week. He doesn't look like a man though who was feeling any ill effects of anything, but he was out in front there. The kick-out strategy not working at all well for UCC so far. Here's Ruan. Ruan will go himself. Ruan, can he draw it in? No, it's not a particularly good shot. Chasing in after it was O'Lee, but just a little bit too much on it. He couldn't get there. Out it goes to Padraig Feehan of Tipperary. Another late change in the UCC team. Getting bottled up is Michael Flood of Meath, but he does enough to recycle it. Padraig Lucy, who was so important for UCC last year as they won the Electric Ireland Sigerson Cup. Well, they won the Fitzgibbon Cup as well, but obviously with different players. The hurlers with a win earlier on. Remember, you can watch that game back on the Electric Ireland YouTube channel. Here's Sean O'Shea inside. They don't stay quiet for long, this UCC team. McEntee. NUI Galway dropping right back, managed by former Mayo star Maurice Sheridan. McEntee recycles it backwards to James Naughton of Limerick. Daniel O'Brien coming forward in support. So much talent out there, Finian, isn't there?
Absolutely, yeah. Just looking at James Naughton, came off from Limerick last night in the McGrath Cup final, you know, so he'll have tired legs. But James McEntee from Meath is another quality player, so there is a lot of talent on show today.
Mar drops and regathers, but he's pickpocketed by Killian Spillane. However, Spillane couldn't get the ball in hand. Ruan. Claffey. UCC dropping back deep. Here is O'Donnell. O'Donnell, good ball. Finnerty out in front. Finnerty to O'Donnell. O'Donnell goes backwards. NUIG happy to stay patient. Owen O'Donoghue to Matthew Ruan. Ruan inside, he was looking for Keneally but couldn't find him. It has got very, very cold in Dangan. Cold and wet. UCC run it out into the hands of Brian Hartnett. Naughton, not afraid to drop deep. Gamble down the line for Sean O'Shea. Hasn't really been in it yet. Not his fault, just NUI Galway have had an awful lot of territory and possession. A surging run down the park from Nathan Mullen of Sligo. O'Lee onto the left. O'Lee, can he squeeze this one over? That is a beautiful score from Finian O'Lee.
Yeah, great score from Finian O'Lee. He's a real workhorse. He's up and down. He's very, very fit, and he can obviously take a score as well. I just noticed that Robert Finnerty has won the first couple of balls in there, and there's been a change. Michael Flood has gone back in on him now, so an early change. So good confidence for Robert.
O'Lee has an option inside. Mullen running off the shoulder. Mullen, nice little dance by Finnerty. Just about it gets over. A touch from Owen O'Brien to send it on its way, but Finnerty gets his second.
Yeah, well set up there by Nathan Mullen. He was NUIG's Player of the Year last year on their road to the Sigerson semi-finals. So he's a strong runner, and that was a great ball by him.
A run that ended, as you say, in the last 4. A double header in Mallow over that weekend. UCD beaten by St Mary's of Belfast, and NUI Galway beaten by UCC. Getting some treatment is Sean O'Shea. If there's one man they need out there at the moment, it's Sean O'Shea. Owen O'Brien. Really strong take by Colm O'Callaghan. Colm O'Callaghan galloping down the line. Tugged down by Ruan. And here comes Sean O'Shea. O'Shea inside. Lucy. Goal on, goal gotten, brilliant finish by Rory Cunningham. The Galway man in Dangan.
That was brilliantly set up by Sean O'Shea. Just a dummy hop, slipped it inside, took a 1-2 and then popped it across. Brilliant finish.
Well, as we said, when they're quiet, they don't stay quiet for long, UCC. Brilliant build-up. Sean O'Shea inside. Lucy back to O'Shea. O'Shea to Cunningham. Beautiful finish.
Yeah, Rory Cunningham, he played for the under-20s under Port Joyce last year with Galway. They got to the All-Ireland semi-final. A quality young player coming through in Galway. Very, very fancied to go on and play with the seniors this year. So good confidence by him, but interesting to see him in UCC colours.
Well, it's been a really intriguing game so far. It has not disappointed. Lovely kick out. Cian Darcy took it well, took the mark. And then it's fouled. Oli. Good take by Finnerty. Finnerty getting away from his man. He's fouled, and that'll be an easy free for NUI Galway to pop over. Well, that's poor from Finnerty. Out it goes to Flood. Flood in the rain, gets it out to the wing. As you can see, those trees are being utilised by the supporters today to protect them from the elements. The rain has eased off in the last minute or two. Here's Fodder Lucy. Teasing ball, well taken by Mark Cronin. Free in.
Yeah, rough challenge there by Owen O'Donoghue. Mark Cronin scored 1-3 in the under-20 final last year against Dublin. A quality inside forward, and they'll be looking to get quick ball inside to him.
No doubt about that. And a yellow card to boot as well for Kevin Carr. Ken Mearman guides it over, and we're all square.
Push off! Come on, Brian, go, Brian! Come on, let's go!
Well, despite being dominated for the bulk of this game so far, UCC are level. Lucy goes in to try and win it, but that's really good stuff from Cian Darcy. A bit of a battle of the giants, Finian, in the middle of the park there.
Absolutely, they're massive men out there, all four of them. But Cian Darcy seems to be the standout midfielder there at the minute, and he's doing really well.
O'Donnell. Lucy trying to narrow the gap. Inside it goes to Rowan. Claffey. Well taken by Oli. Nice switch to O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue's still going. Finnerty wants it inside. Finnerty! Great save! Brilliant save by O'Brien. And UCC go on the counter-attack.
Robert Finnerty's causing absolute pandemonium in there. UCC don't seem to have dropped a man. They're happy enough to leave him one-on-one. So if UCG can get a quick ball inside, he'll do damage all day.
If you are hearing strong words, by the way, we apologise for that. Things get heated in this level of football, I guess. O'Callaghan got it over for Hartnett. That's intercepted by Mulkerran. Mullen has all the time in the world on this one, and eventually squeezes it out to Claffey. Claffey with an untidy ball, chasing after it is Brian Hartnett. Hartnett does really well to win that. Callahan. Cronin. Lucy. O'Shea. McEntee. Nocton. Patient stuff from UCC.
NUIG just seem to be set up well there, Oisin. They've left three up, but they've everyone else behind the ball, and they're shifting the defence over and back.
Killian Spillane, if anyone can unpick a lock, it's him. Now it's McEntee. McEntee! Excellent finish. Spillane and McEntee combined, two great Gaelic football names, and UCC have their second goal.
Yeah, it was great patience by UCC. I was just saying NUIG were set up, but one lapse in concentration and a ball over the top, and great finish.
So for all the work that NUI Galway have done, they are behind, and by 3. They've had goal chances themselves. We've had a really pacey start to this game, exciting start. Here's O'Lee, speaking of pace, being chased down by Cian Gamble. O'Lee sidestepped him. O'Lee still going. O'Lee at a very tight angle, he's going to have to cut back. Finnerty wants it and eventually gets it, but again, he's too far away from goal. Good pass by Finnerty. Owen O'Donoghue. Out it goes to Ruan. Ruan kind of shuffles through. O'Donnell just about hangs on to it. Ruan just bounces away from Finnerty. Works hard to try and keep it in play and does, much to his credit. Finnerty gets it back to Campbell, presenting himself as Claffey. As always in Sigerson Cup, the fans and the subs and everyone pretty much standing pitch side, and occasionally the officials have to tell them to get back. It's one of the great things about this competition, how close you get to the action. Cian Darcy. Darcy trying to get past O'Brien. Inside it goes to O'Donoghue. A good hand in there. O'Donoghue working hard to try and get it back. It's a free out to UCC. They showed really good patience there, Finian, without the ball, UCC.
They did, yeah. They're defending in numbers now. They started off quite open at the back, but they're getting bodies back now and they're snuffing out the last couple of attacks from NUIG.
Nocton gave to Hartnett, who moved it back to Sean O'Shea. Here's James Nocton. Lucy. Lucy, who looks like he should be slam dunking rather than kick passing. Just gets away from Spillane. Might break from again here. Spillane, who created the second goal, is surely fouled. Referee agrees. Free in.
Yeah, it looks like Daniel O'Brien now for UCC is sitting back in front of Desi Keneally and Robert Finnerty. So they've shored up things there because there was havoc been caused inside.
So here's Sean O'Shea. O'Shea puts it over. His second of the game. Both from frees, 2-2 to 4 points. Caught in the middle by Darcy. So it's a free to NUI Galway. Again, they're out in front. 2-on-2. What can Finnerty do? Finnerty, can he draw this one in? No, wide on the near side.
Yeah, he won that very easily there, Robert. But that's 2 missed now after a good start. So he'll want to get the radar back on again pretty quickly.
UCC building slowly but surely. Here's Nocton. Nocton with plenty of options. Lucy into the corner. Great take. Mark called. The forward mark being used to great effect there. Not sure if you're a fan of it, Finian, but it was used well there by Mark Cronin.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I suppose you know, a natural free takers winning the American side, they should be able to slot that over.
Cronin.
Finish.
And that's one for the highlights reel of people who want the mark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, when you can win a ball in around the D there, it's a guaranteed score. Especially the quality of place kickers now. You know, most inside forwards can take scores from any angle outside the D.
Good score by Mark Cronin. Lucy with one hand. Sean O'Shea. He's got that bit physically bigger even since last season's Electric Ireland Sigerson Cup campaign, in which he was so impressive. Really took his form into the green and gold of Kerry. McEntee. Sean O'Shea again, looking for it always. But here is McEntee. McEntee. Oh, that is a delicious point by McEntee. A goal and a point for him now.
Absolute top quality score. We know his quality obviously with Meath, and he's really shown well in the first opening 15 minutes today.
Shaped up for it well, took it even better. Interception from Cian Gamble, and he was tripped by Finian O'Lee. Rory Cunningham galloping on. Brian Hartnett, plenty of space inside. Cronin, another one from Cronin.
Yeah, there's confusion in the NUIG full back line. They seem to have an extra man back there, but Cronin seems to have been able to slip the two inside defenders there, and he's picking up space where he shouldn't be.
After a less than perfect start, Finian, UCC are cruising nicely now.
Yeah, I think they've gone on top around the middle, whereas Cian Darcy and Matthew Rowan started brightly, and obviously NUIG got the first 4 scores. They've really tightened it up around the middle, and once they get ball around the middle, they've got top quality, some of the top inter-county footballers in the country up front, so they will do damage once they get enough possession.
NUI Galway winners just a couple of years ago, UCC, the defending champions. The winners, by the way, play IT Tralee or IT Carlow. That's in the next round. Tomas O'Shea prowling the sidelines for UCC. A Kerry icon and a Cork legend working together, him and Billy Morgan. He's not a fan of the forward mark, I don't think, but he would have been pleased with Mark Cronin a couple of minutes ago and what he did. Padraig Lucy, one-on-one inside. Really good take out in front by Rory Cunningham. Cunningham, can he take advantage of the slip? Pull of the jersey, surely. Referee actually allows play to continue. Conor Campbell now moves on, one of the really impressive underage stars of Galway football in the last couple of years. Here's Nathan Mullen. O'Lee just evades him. NUI Galway need a score. Can they get one here? It's Marr. Wouldn't go for himself. Finnerty. That's a really fine score by Robert Finnerty. 3 from play for him.
Yeah, the only real hope at the minute for NUIG, given the way they're playing, is their inside forward line. Like Robert and Desi, they look really dangerous when they get the ball in. But UCC seem to have dropped men back and they're snuffing it out. But they're going to need to take all their chances if NUIG are to have any chance here today.
Like the rest of them, Robert Finnerty had exams over Christmas, and I spoke to him at the time. He said he was just looking forward to getting out there and playing some football after the exams. He's playing well today, Nathan Mullen, but will he be playing any more in the Electric Ireland Sigerson Cup this season? Here comes O'Donnell. O'Donnell gives to Ruan. Ruan to Finnerty, looking for point number 4 for him, and he has got it.
Yeah, that's a bit better from NUIG. Cian Darcy, obviously, he's battling hard around the middle, and he needs more help. But when he gets the ball quick inside, NUIG seem to be able to put scores on the board.
Finnerty, of course, his dad, a bit of a Mayo legend, but also he made a big impact in a Galway sense in the fact that he actually won a county title in Galway. Galloping forward now is Colm O'Callaghan. O'Callaghan lets one go and scores. A self-made point from O'Callaghan.
That's a super point. Very direct, just running through, obviously on his weaker left side, pops it over the bar.
As you were saying about Robert Finnerty, well, Anthony, his dad, made his name in the Mayo jersey. He actually did win a county title, I think, with Carrow back in the mid-90s.
He did in '96, yeah. He's actually manager of Salt and Lochnacarra at the minute. Robert and William, they're on display here today, so he'll have divided loyalties when it comes to Galway and Mayo.
As Anthony has said himself, when he's watching his son play for Galway, he's a Galway fan. You can't say much fairer than that, in fairness.
We'll leave that debate for another day.
Will Galway beat Mayo? Here comes Rory Cunningham. Colm O'Callaghan fresh from that exquisite point. Into the hand of Fian. Strongly represented in this UCC squad are Cork and Kerry, but there's a speckling of Limerick and Tip and Meath as well. That's an excellent take from Sean O'Shea. Into space goes Cian Gamble. Gamble! Lovely, lovely score from Gamble. A scissors kick.
I suppose the worrying thing here for all the other teams in the competition is I don't see Sean Powter or David Shaw out there, and they're named in the programme. So obviously two top quality forwards that aren't involved here today.
I know we said we'd leave the Galway Mayo thing, but that point kind of reminded me of Kieran MacDonald and how he used to score them. Here's Ruan. Finnerty trying to get there and does. Has a bit of trouble shaking off the UCC defender, but does really well. Can he create the space? Can he get the shot away? Or at the very least get the pass away? Does the latter. Keneally. Keneally has been hunted down by a pack of UCC defenders. Finnerty. O'Donoghue. Claffey is running on the near side. He had a bit of space, but O'Donoghue instead went outside to Campbell. Ball breaks down, comes back out to O'Donoghue. The ricochet takes it into the path of Fian. Knocked it. Goes over both the number 17s. It's Mark Cronin who's going to take it on the go. Brendan of Mayo trying to get back to him. Cronin measures it. Doesn't get it right on this occasion. UCC second wide. Cian Darcy. Darcy with a bit of a boomer inside, and Finnerty finds himself in a bit of space. Is the angle too tight to go for goal? Finnerty! Beautiful!
Finish. Super finish there from Robert Finnerty. He just slipped his man. Found himself in acres of space. Lovely little dummy and a beautiful finish. He's playing great stuff at the moment. They just need to get more ball into him.
1-4 for Robert Finnerty. Nothing the goalkeeper could do. Finnerty with a beautiful sidestep. Different class.
Yeah, he's the top quality forward on show here so far, even though Sean O'Shea, you know, the likes of Mark Cronin are playing, but Robert Finnerty really is the standout player on show here already.
What's it like coming up against him in training?
He's a nightmare to mark, Robert. You know, he plays from behind and he stands inside with his hand up and he looks for the ball over the top, so he doesn't really show that much, but he's very clever and he loves bringing other players into play, so he's got a box full of tricks, and he's a great finisher as well.
That's the voice of Finian Hanley, who is of course in the same club as Robert Finnerty. Daniel O'Brien went outside rather than in, and UCC whooshed it all the way back to Padraig Fian. They use the ball so well, UCC. Very rarely make a bad decision. McEntee looking for his second point of the game. He's undercooked that. All current as NUI Galway build from the back. Matthew Ruan, he's a hard runner. And there was a foul inside, so it's a free for NUI Galway.
Pull on the jersey, I think they're on Finian O'Lee, just inside the 45, so it'll be a free, and this is a chance to bring it back to 3 points. You know, even though UCC, you know, pulled away, NUIG have got it back to a one-score game, so this is badly needed.
Robert Finnerty, 1-4 from play so far, looking for a first point from a free. It's been a really free-flowing game. In the hurling earlier on, there was a lot of frees, but in this, most of the scores have come from play. Excluding that one, Finnerty pops it over from the free.
Yeah, the weather isn't really hampering, you know, the performances of either team here. Both are playing really, really good football. The rain seems to be coming straight down. There's no big wind, and it's a very enjoyable game so far.
Owen O'Brien. The kick out hasn't been amazing for UCC so far. It has been an area where they've fallen down. Cian Darcy picks it up, dusts it off. Really good take on the hop by Keneally. Trying to get away from Michael Flood. Mullen, O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue takes it back from Marr. O'Donoghue inside, you know who he's looking for, and he has found him. Finnerty. Mark taken, excellent mark from Finnerty.
Super direct again there from NUIG, but I think both teams are doing a lot of kick passing. As I said, it's very enjoyable. There's some great scores been taken, and a lot of kick passing into the full forward lines.
Floated over by Finnerty, his second in a row, and He had O'Donovan and O'Brien surrounding him there, Finnerty, but he still was able to take it. O'Donoghue. Running onto it was Oli. Oli, can he draw this one in? Yes, he can. NUI Galway enjoying a very, very fruitful period of this match.
Yeah, lovely sideline ball in from Owen O'Donoghue. Little dink pass onto the 45 in front of Oli. Lovely turn and composure. Slotted over the bar, back to a 1-point game.
Getting a hand on it there is Darcy. Picked up by O'Shea. Moving down the park now is Colm O'Callaghan. Colm O'Callaghan, 2 options inside. Brilliant block by Ruan.
I must say, Oisin, the midfield battle here is absolutely brilliant. All 4 midfielders really putting in big shifts. It's probably 50-50 at the minute, but they're the standout battles here at the minute.
We'll be back again next week with more Electric Ireland Sigerson and Fitzgibbon Cup encounters. Let's hope they're all as exciting as this one. It has been, Finian Hanley, an absolute belter. Absolute cracking game. I must say, it's extremely tight now. We thought UCC were pulling away, but NUIG have really come back, and it's looking like the tide is with them at the minute. It has ebbed and flowed. John Marr. It's a little bit risky, but it does work out. Owen O'Donoghue has his jersey tugged back there. And the referee has actually given it the other way for over-carrying. Finian, if I put a black jersey and gave you a whistle, what would you say if you were refereeing? That was a dubious call there now. I think I don't know, he's going against the crowd here and he's kind of just evening it up a small bit, but that was definitely a free in from what I could see. I thought so too. Brian Hartnett coming forward. Presenting himself, Cian Gamble. Almost dispossessing him. Nathan Mullen, in fact he does in the end. Great work from Mullen. Stays cool under pressure, gets his pass away. Coming back is Keneally. Keneally trying to get away from Flood. Has Keneally shown too much of that to Mark Cronin? No, he hasn't. John Marr. If you're a UCC defender, you must be thinking right now, where is Robert Finnerty? Oh, they messed that one up a little bit. Yeah, when NUIG just slow it down, Nathan Mullen had the ball there. The one-on-one was on inside with Robert Finnerty, and he just took a solo on hand pass it laterally, and UCC got bodies back and snuffed it out. Lovely ball from Cunningham. It has found Sean O'Shea. Sean O'Shea up against Brennan. O'Shea comes back the way, gives to McEntee. McEntee is Cunningham with him. Sean O'Shea. Cunningham. Intercepted, but falls the way of a black and red jersey. Cunningham. Free out. Yeah, super work there from Conor Campbell. One to watch for Galway in the future. I know he's in with the Galway seniors at the minute, but he really just stayed at his task there and turned over the ball. Well, the jackets are on. It tells you what kind of weather we have. It's raining quite heavily indeed. Maurice Sheridan, the manager of NUI Galway, assisted by Paddy Moran, Don Canellan and Cathal Clancy. Ruan goes route one. Finnerty takes it again. Running on the inside is Claffey. Oh, he just couldn't keep a hold of it in the wet. And in the end, is he lucky-ish to get a free in? Yeah, that could have went either way. The ref could have said play on, but I think he gave him the benefit of the doubt. I think if you go down on the ball out here today, given the conditions, you'll probably get the decision from the referee. Let's have another look. He didn't do too much wrong. Yeah, 6 of 1, half a dozen, I think. But as I said, if you go down on the ball, you're more than likely to get the benefit because conditions. Obviously, it's very wet, even though the wind isn't blowing. It's very wet out there. Keneally misses the chance to punish UCC. Knocked it. Gamble. You wonder, can the teams keep this pace going for the full 60 or maybe beyond? Because as we say, this has to end today. This is knockout. Spillane. So impressive at minor level for Kerry. Throwing his body in, it was Brian Hartnett. Hartnett buys the free. Sorry, I'm not saying it wasn't a foul, but what I'm saying is he wasn't afraid to throw himself to the ground when the contact came.
Yeah, I think it was very smart by Brian there, because UCC were under pressure. They need to just get the ball on the ground and get Sean O'Shea to settle things and get set up again, because after a brilliant first 20 minutes, they've pulled back a bit, and NUIG were on top, and they just need to get this score and settle themselves, win a kick out.
It was a clumsy more than vicious foul. Sean O'Shea dusting himself off for tying the lace. Tomas O'Shea and the back of Billy Morgan. A legend around Cork, I think it's fair to say. Still as big an appetite for the game of Gaelic football as he's ever had. So Sean O'Shea looking for his third. O'Shea kicks it wide. He'll be desperately disappointed with that. And it's the last kick of the half. 2-7 to 1-9 the score at half time. Finney and Hanley, what have you made of it?
Yeah, I think, Oisín, both teams will be happy to get in at half time and take a breather. It's been absolutely frantic for the first half. 13-12, it was huge scoring in the middle of January. It's been a fantastic game, some great scores, but it's all to play for. It's really tight, and it should be an epic tight second half.
Well, it's a long way back to the dressing room. I wonder what the teams will be thinking about on their way back at the break. UCC leading 2-7 to 1-9. It was the first half that was full of action and excitement and quality scores. We're going to see some of those now. James McEntee of Meath squeezing this one over, and even better was to follow from him. Hartnett not afraid to run. He's been a real thorn in the side. That was a nice little switch from Mark Cronin. NUI Galway got some very good scores as well. John Marr involved in the build-up. Robert Finnerty has been involved in the bulk of everything that has been positive about the men in maroon today. Patrick O'Donnell, he's ran well. Ruan has functioned well in the middle of the park, and Finnerty again with another quality point. Cutting in from the wing, Cian Gamble. And Finian, that was a Kieran MacDonald style finish, I think it's fair to say.
It was, yeah, right side, right foot. I think Sean O'Shea has come into it a lot more in the last 5 or 10 minutes, so his presence now has really helped UCC.
This is Finnerty's goal, and what a goal it was. Drew in the defender. Had eyes only for goal there.
Yeah, he's known to, sometimes he gets bottled up because he takes that extra step, but lovely jink there.
Scored from a free as well. Well, it was actually a forward mark that he took. We've seen, I think, 2 forward marks with scores coming from them directly in this first half. It seems to be something that the teams have put a bit of work into.
I think so, and the fact that both teams are playing quite open, they're 1v1 inside, and they're not playing blanket defence. I think there's an opportunity to get a long ball in and win a mark and take a score, especially if your team is under the cosh.
Okay, half time in the rain of Dangan. It is the Electric Ireland Sigerson Cup first round. Remember, there has to be a winner today, coming shortly the second half, but at the break it is UCC who lead just about 2-7 to 1-9. Stay with us.
You'd be afraid they'd scratch the lens, you know.
Welcome back to Dangan, where UCC lead at half-time in this Electric Ireland Higher Education GA Sigerson Cup. Round 1 encounter 2-7 to 1-9. McEntee and Cunningham with the goals for UCC. Finnerty with a supreme goal for NUI Galway. He scored 1-6. One of them from a free. One of them, I suppose we'll call it a dead ball, we'll call it a free, but it was from a forward mark. We've seen a couple of those in this game. Mark Cronin with one of his two was from a forward mark. Finian Hanley, a former Galway footballer, is with me. Kieran Malloy, last year's Club Championship Player of the Year, looking for a third All-Ireland club title in a row with Corofin next Sunday in Croke Park. He is in for NUI Galway. That's a significant boost for them, Finian.
Absolutely huge boost. You know, he's playing really good football with Corofin at the minute. He's very, very confident. So he's a great addition to the NUIG setup for the second half.
Well, we don't know who's going to win here, but we do know who the winners are going to face. IT Carlow have beaten IT Tralee. So IT Carlow are awaiting the winners next week. But who will the winners be? We might not find out over the next 30 minutes. It might take extra time. It might even take penalties. But it has to end today. You wouldn't think it to look out there now, Finian, but when I arrived today, ahead of the Fitzgibbon Cup game, I was wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, it was looking good there in the morning, the early afternoon, but obviously the rain is pouring down here now. But I suppose it's good that it's coming directly down. It's not going left or right. There's not a big wind. I just think it plays a bit more open for the Cork forwards in the second half.
Only in Galway would you find such a positive spin on rain.
I think we get 290 days of rain a year, so we're well used to it.
Well, moving forward is Cian Darcy. He gets it back. Darcy galloping down the park. Finnerty 1-6 in that first half. He was amazing. Can he continue it in the second half? I'd be surprised if the pace of the game could stay what it was in the second period, but there's such quality out there. You never know. Owen O'Donoghue among those quality names. Here's Nathan Mullen. Kieran Malloy, the AIB Club Championship Player of the Year last year, dinks it forward for O'Donnell. Well, it's more than a dink, is it? O'Lee trying to keep it alive in that corner. Decision goes UCC's way.
Who's the goalie? Who's the goalie? Goalie!
Give it to the goalie is the shout. McEntee. McEntee trying to get away from Finnerty. Oh, big bump there on Hartnett. He's a strong guy though. He kept going. Nocton, who was in action for Limerick last night in the McGrath Cup final. A game Limerick won, beating Cork. A double for Limerick last night because their hurlers won the Munster League against Cork also. Inside it goes. O'Callaghan. Cork working it well. Cunningham from a standing position. Cunningham. Really good score by Rory Cunningham.
Yeah, I've been impressed by Rory Cunningham. I suppose from a Galway point of view, you know, he's shown really well for the ball. He's kicked 1 or 2 points, and you know that he's a positive from a Galway point of view. But yeah, just the wind is starting to pick up a little bit now in favour of Cork in the second half. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get a couple of more scores on board.
Sean O'Shea is fouled, and then there's a little bit of after. So what decision will the referee make here? Probably just a ticking. It is just a ticking. And O'Shea puts it on the ground. He's got a lovely technique. O'Shea with that familiar dance. It hangs up in the wind a bit. And it's a wide.
Yeah, difficult kick. I suppose he just judging the wind, and he was outside the 45 there. It was always going to be a tough one, even for a player of his calibre.
A tough weekend for many of these players. Killian Spillane in action for Temple No yesterday in the All-Ireland club semi-final. They lost out to Uachtarard of Galway. Campbell. Really good take. O'Lee spills it back to Campbell. Marauding is O'Donnell. Malloy with a no-look hand pass. Beautiful stuff. He's a confident footballer. Ruan. O'Donoghue tries to find O'Lee. Free in for NUI Galway. They were tempted to take it quickly. There was plenty of runners inside. Instead they go backwards to Claffey. O'Donnell. Darcy. Going on a loop run is Ruan. Big crowd in for this one, despite the fact that there is absolutely no protection from the elements except for the trees. O'Lee. Measured ball by O'Donoghue. Malloy takes the mark. Malloy puts it ahead of Marr. Marr! Great block, it's out for a 45. Yeah. They're saying a foot block on the NUI Galway bench.
Just seeing the umpire there rushing on the other side. He's calling for there was wrestling off the ball there on Robert Finnerty. I think it's Dylan Casey that's in picking him up now. There's an off the ball, so I think the umpire has his arm out there and he's calling the ref's attention.
This is worth another look. Malloy with the forward mark. Saw the run inside for John Marr. It was actually his hand, so you're right, it is whatever happened on the other side that was off camera that the ref is calling the attention to. Padraig Feehan, by the way, with that brilliant block, and I apologise to him for doing him a disservice by saying it was a foot block. Owen O'Brien, the goalkeeper, has been spoken to by the referee.
That's the cornerback that's in trouble here. He wasn't even facing the ball. He was just looking at Robert Finnerty and dragging him by the jersey. So although he's injured and on the ground, I think the ref is going to take the appropriate action here.
A big decision to be made here. Dylan Casey, the carry man. What action will be taken against him? Black card.
Yeah, he was obviously sent on to tie up Robert Finnerty, but he got a little too close too early, and now he finds himself in the sin bin for the next 10 minutes.
Finnerty punishes them with the point. So for the moment it's 15 against 14. Finnerty with his first of the second half, after an immense first half that saw him score 1-6. Another mark taken, this time it's O'Shea. Owen O'Donoghue doing his best to hold up the attacker O'Brien. NUI Galway have it back. O'Donnell, he can move at pace. Off it goes to O'Lee. O'Lee down the line from Mullen. Free out, touched on the ground.
I just see, I think it's Pádraig Costello has come on there for NUIG, Dunmore, another part of the Galway under-20 team last year. A confident player, good ball winner, very, very strong and can take a score.
Coming forward now for UCC is Hartnett. Liam O'Donovan, one of the quickest players out there. Killian Spillane, back to O'Donovan. 1-2, played back to O'Donovan. Knocked it. How does Hartnett have that much space? Hartnett threw the ball, moved it from hand to hand.
Yeah, he just got caught between two minds there, whether to take the shot or lay it off.
Coming forward now, Matthew Ruan. Will be disappointed to know that his Mayo colleagues lost today against Galway.
Yeah, I think it finished in penalties, 3-2 to Galway, so that's a good start for Porrick Joyce.
Second year in a row that they've gone to penalties in that competition. Ball inside, Finnerty. Finnerty! Beautiful, just beautiful.
Absolutely super score, and any bit of space at all, he's turning on a sixpence in there, and he's kicking them from all angles. They just have to get enough ball into him. He could finish with a massive tally yet today.
Think of it for Galway in the league and championship. Robert Finnerty working with Padraig Joyce.
Yeah, he'll enjoy working with Porrick. I think a lot of the ball will be direct, Is
it fair to say we can see a lot of Joyce in Finnerty?
Yeah, I think he's really changed his game over the last couple of years. He was always looking for the pass, but now he's really looking to tally his scores, and he's finishing games with 5 and 6 points at a time. So that's encouraging for Galway, and obviously a score taker like him will be a massive addition for them.
Well, that's a shot from a very, very tight angle, which has gone wide. Ronan Boland assessing his options.
Just on Robert Finnerty, Ocean, I think he's been with the Galway setup for the last year or two, and this is a big year for him to step up to the mark and really push on and nail down a jersey, come especially the league and maybe into the championship this year also.
Quite literally step up to the mark this year. Made his championship debut against London for Galway last season, a season that ended in disappointment, losing in Limerick to Mayo. That's a real... It was a clever take. It might have been off the ground by millimetres, but the referee says it was on the ground when it was taken, so it's a free out to UCC.
Yeah, both teams are still kicking the ball. It hasn't got cagey yet, which is great to see. Both teams are still looking for the inside forwards, which makes for a really enjoyable game.
McEntee. Back it goes to O'Brien. Screaming for it on this near side is Cronin. Is that a bit too high? No, it's just right for Cronin, who calls the mark. Sean O'Shea. Back to Cronin. Back to O'Shea. Back to Hartnett. O'Shea goes down off the ball, colliding with Mulkerrin. O'Shea well used to the attention at this stage. Might there be something more to follow though? Sean Mulkerrin being spoken to. Black card.
Yeah, I didn't see it, Oisin, but I'm not too sure. Was there that much in it? Was it that cynical? I think it was just a little bit of handbags, and that's tough on Sean. He's been having a fine game. He is quite a tight defender, and he likes to get stuck in. So he's a huge loss for Galway. To have their leader and centre back on the sideline for 10 minutes.
And immediately, you could see people on both benches looking at their watches just to start them off. The 10 minutes, referee's given a free out. So let's have a look at that black card incident. Yeah, it just took him out off the ball.
Yeah, it was probably the right call.
Sometimes defenders get away with that. Not that you ever tried anything like that, Finian. Different rules.
Not enough, Oisin, not enough.
High diagonal. That's clever play into the path of Lucy. Good thinking by Daniel O'Brien. Daniel O'Brien carries it out of defence and gives it to Sean O'Shea. Cronin. So for the moment, 14 against 14. Cronin. Back it goes to O'Shea. O'Shea, that might fall for Cunningham, but it would be more by accident than design. However, he was fouled. The ref played advantage, so it will be a free to UCC. Sean O'Shea. I'm not sure there's anything more that we can say about him. He is just a supreme talent.
He is, yeah. He's kicking frees from both sides. You know, I think he's passed it over to Mark Cronin for this chance. Yeah, it looks like Mark Cronin's taking this one. So I think he's realised that the wind is quite difficult.
Cronin got one from a similar angle in the first half and has got one from a similar angle in the second. Lots of space for NUI Galway to run into. Can they exploit that space? Moving it on there was Gavin Burke. No, they can't exploit the space.
Yeah, Gavin Burke, traditionally a cornerback. He's been coming on for Currafin over the last number of weeks in the club championship. Younger brother of Ian, a cornerback, a wing back. You know, shooting wouldn't be his strong point, so he just slipped it off there, even though he was in space himself.
Dylan Casey preparing to come back in for UCC. UCC about to go back up to 15. Mark Cronin. Really good defending, read it very well. O'Donnell with a beautiful pass. O'Lee. Lucy cutting off the angle. O'Lee inside. Lucy slips. O'Lee. Oh, off the woodwork, and how big a miss will that be?
Yeah, that would have been a crucial score for NUIG. You know, Conor Campbell did exceptionally well to get out in front there. Quick kick pass into the forward line. If Finian O'Lee just had a chance, and that would have been, you know, a game changer, really an inspirational score, but just tail to the right and wide.
1 point between them. UCC still leading, the champions. You might be able to hear it there, the referee just saying 15 seconds left for the black card. That's the UCC black card. That is Dylan Casey. Diarmuid O'Connor, by the way, the Kerry man about to come in, gets a pat on the shoulder from Tomás O'Shea as he jogs onto the pitch. You might not be able to see that as it's off camera. What you can see is Dylan Casey coming back in and having a quick word with Robert Finnerty. They were renewing acquaintances. Going off, by the way, for UCC is Padraig Feehan, the Tipperary man. He's been replaced by Diarmuid O'Connor. What a sub to be able to bring in Diarmuid O'Connor.
Yeah, he must have a slight knock or an injury, because, you know, to have him on the bench, he's going to make a big difference for UCC now for the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Free into NUI Galway. Little things could turn this game.
It's interesting, Oisin. Dylan Casey has obviously been sent out by Tomás O'Shea to really, you know, not get involved in the game and just obviously get involved with Robert Finnerty. So he's been very, very close to him. Straight in again, another jostle. He's given away a free, and Robert should slot this over.
Finnerty does what he needs to do. Gets what his team needs. And we're all square.
Yeah, very assured, composed kick from Robert, and his confidence is very high.
Diarmuid O'Connor into it straight away, just slipped out of his grasp. Cian Darcy. Kieran Malloy.
On you, Gav, on you, Gav! Get Campbell in, get Campbell in!
Boland finds Ruan. Ruan evades the challenge. Cian Darcy. Mullen. Long fisted pass by Mullen, well taken. Nice turn, and the free in is awarded. Strong, really strong play from Padraig Costello.
Yeah, great take there by Paul Costello. He is a strong inside forward, and he shows really well for the ball. He's a great first man to win the ball, and he'll be a good complement for Robert inside. Just noticing on the goalkeepers, we haven't been talking a whole pile on goalkeepers today, which is good for the game. You know, a lot of the kickouts are going long, which is making the aerial contest in the midfield very interesting.
Well, the rain is bucketing down again. It's been on and off. There is an orange weather warning around certain parts of the country. Of course, it hasn't hit yet. The worst of it. Boland has come up to take this free. Boland, a big moment in this game. This could go anywhere. UCC do well. They win the breaking ball and then get the free out.
Yeah, that looked like a tactical foul there by Finnerty, just to slow the game down so that NUIG can get their shape back and get back in numbers.
Two sidelines getting very passionate. I was about to say the two benches, but there are no benches here in Dangan. Sean O'Shea. O'Shea for the run of Liam O'Donovan. O'Donovan outside to Spillane. Cronin. O'Donovan turning and twisting. O'Donovan couldn't find a gap, so he gave it back to Spillane. Here's Sean O'Shea. O'Shea, can he curl this one? Oh, it had the accuracy but not the distance, and the goalkeeper is then fouled. 10 minutes to go, and this one impossible to call. And UCC about to bring in Gary Murphy.
Yeah, I think every chance now is crucial for either side. I think anything into the goalie's hands is difficult because you're on the turnover straight away. So a wide at least, but every score is crucial and hard come by now.
O'Shea receives it back. O'Shea forward. UCC in behind. UCC out in front. Really well taken score.
Yeah, difficult angle. Ball slipped off from the right side, and he slotted it over with his right foot. Brilliant score, and UCC are back in front now.
So Boland, who has to be so careful here. Breaking ball is the shout from Tomas O'Shea on the sideline. I'm not sure if you can hear him, but he'll be frustrated because his team have given away a free. Into the corner it goes. The wet conditions playing havoc for the players here. Handling conditions tough, but then NUI Galway get the free. Sean Mulkern getting ready to come back in for NUI Galway. Chasing after it straight away, ball rolling along the ground, and O'Sullivan chasing after it. Hartnett. Good hands by Lucy. Lucy fouled, free out. UCC keen to get going quickly. One between them. The Leesiders leading. Sean O'Shea. Sean O'Shea up against O'Donoghue. O'Shea recycles. Back inside it goes. Nocton. Hartnett. Hartnett, who got that beautiful point from an angle a couple of minutes ago. That's the one that is UCC leading. Nocton. Nocton gets it forward. Diarmuid O'Connor. Diarmuid O'Connor inside, brings it to a kind angle. Diarmuid O'Connor! That is quality.
Yeah, lovely step inside. He's made a difference for UCC. You know, very great composure. That's an absolutely fantastic score. Nothing else on. Took it on himself. Great confidence. Slotted it over.
Fantastic confidence from Diarmuid O'Connor. A long way to go, but that could be the point that maybe he wins this game. Helped his club to an All-Ireland junior football final yesterday with a win against Kilmaine. 13 points to 112, the final score. Maybe they just felt that he didn't have the legs for 60 minutes, Diarmuid O'Connor, but he's making a difference. He didn't start this game, but I wonder with that point, has he finished it? Although we have a long, long way to go. Here's Kieran Malloy. Malloy outside. Back to Malloy. Malloy to narrow the gap to 1. He's done just that.
Beautiful kick from Malloy. Took it on himself. He won the ball actually from the kick out himself. He was under pressure, got himself out of trouble, took a 1-2, found himself up inside the 45 and slotted over. But the big thing in the last 5 or 10 minutes, the subs for both sides are making a huge contribution. Diarmuid O'Connor for UCC especially, and Kieran Malloy and Pádraig Costello have really showed well for NUIG. So bench has been crucial.
Hartnett takes it. No matter who wins this, it has been a quality game, Finian.
Absolutely unbelievable, you know. For the middle of January, the quality on display here, and the quality of player. There's a lot of inter-county experience out there, and it's great to see.
Well, we are absolutely delighted to give the Electric Ireland Sigerson Cup the platform it deserves from the early rounds. This is a competition that needs to be seen, and we've seen that today. And the Fitzgibbon Cup the same. Some good quality between UCC and NUI Galway earlier on. UCC getting through it in the end. Remember, you can watch that game back on the Electric Ireland YouTube channel. Here comes Diarmuid O'Connor. Trying to step inside is Gary Murphy. Murphy turning and twisting. Sean O'Shea pops up everywhere. He's got such a good read of the game. This man can read it well too. Hartnett goes backwards. McEntee. Brian Hartnett. It's nervy stuff. Do NUI Galway stick or twist? Do they try and turn UCC over high up the pitch, or do they risk what's happening now? Being caught on the break, Sean O'Shea. O'Shea with an exquisite ball. Here's Cronin. Cronin at a tight angle. Killian Spillane. That move deserved a score, and it's got one.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic score from UCC and Killian Spillane there.
Watch this.
Lovely little dink there from Sean O'Shea. He hasn't been at his peak best today. Ono Donoghue's doing a great job, very tight to him. But you know, when he's had to contribute, he has. And that lovely little dink up, Killian Spillane, a great finish.
Matthew Ruan, NUI Galway perhaps need a goal. They might be trying to work one here. Keneally, they'll go for the point, and they won't get it. 18 points to 16 in favour of UCC when you make the conversion. And coming on now, Colin Barrett. Killian Spillane is coming off for UCC. What a weekend he's had. Unlucky yesterday with Temple No, but it looks like he may have done enough with UCC today. But there are still twists on this road, and NUI Galway are still hanging on in there.
Yeah, Conor Bowen seems to have come on. Both teams now emptying the bench. It's been frantic from the first minute, so a lot of tired legs out there, and it looks like both teams are needing to use every ounce of their bench now.
Just looking over at the far side of the crowd, who, as I say, have very little protection except for trees. Not one of them is left. Free out. A freezing cold wet day in Galway, but it has been most enjoyable in a footballing sense. The hurling was good earlier on as well. Should be a throw-up ball actually rather than a free. Lucy won it for UCC, got it to Hartnett. Lucy wants it again, doesn't come to him. Comes to the new man in for UCC, Colin Barrett. Good move from UCC. Nocton. Is that a push in the back? Cronin still trying to get the ball away, does manage to do so, spilt it back to Nocton. Sean O'Shea. I was about to say the one and only, but that would actually be very unfair on some of the players out there today who have also been immense, who have also been supreme. The referee is down now. He blew his whistle to stop play. I wasn't sure why. Because he was injured. John Gilmartin from Sligo. Let's have a look at what happened. The UCC medics are first in.
Yeah, Conor Bohan, my Cullen player, seems to have gone in cornerback. Now, he wouldn't traditionally be a cornerback for his club. He normally plays in the half-forward line, but I think it's needs must for NUIG now.
Now watch the top right-hand corner of the screen. John Gilmartin is the ref. Oh, a collision. An accidental one, it should be pointed out. Surely the ref has to give himself a card for that. He fouled the man coming across him. No, he's bottled the decision. He's bottled it, Finian.
He's still on the pitch. He's going to finish it out anyhow, so.
3 minutes left.
3 minutes is the shout from the official on the side. So NUIG have 3 minutes to stay in the Sigerson Cup. UCC don't have to score so long as they stop NUI Galway. They probably need a goal, NUI Galway, Finian. They're going to have to push everything forward here. They're going to have to risk it, but the obvious danger there is being caught on the break by this very quick and skillful UCC team.
Yeah, UCC look like they're just holding on to the ball now, just knocking it back and over, trying to draw out NUIG and seeking to get a quick ball in behind. But you know, a lot of experience here, so they should be able to move the ball around and work an opening for a score. Reaction
to come after this game. It'll be interesting to see what is said by both camps. A risky one, a slip, and an NUI Galway ball. Campbell. They've got 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Malloy. Boland. NUIG need to go forward and in numbers. Good take by O'Donoghue. Goes to ground. Was it a fair hit? The referee. Well, the reason I haven't said anything is because I'm not sure. He hasn't kind of indicated either way. This is the hit. Have a look. It was nothing shoulder to shoulder from Diarmuid O'Connor, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looked fairly 50-50. It was, you know, you'd like to think if you were playing, it'd be a fair, good challenge. But you know, the ref seems to have given NUIG a lifeline here to get a ball in and maybe get it back to one.
Well, that's not how the referee has seen it. He thinks it's a foul from Diarmuid O'Connor. It's a yellow card. It's also a vital possession for NUI Galway, and they probably can't just lump it in here. They have to try and work it for a goal, don't they?
Yeah, you know, there's about just over a little over a minute. Can they tack on a score and maybe look to win the kick out and go and go for a leveller? You know, it depends on the ref then to see if there's enough time to play, but they really need to get something out of this play.
Malloy. NUI Galway bringing it closer to goal. Finnerty, who's had a quiet spell, good block, but it falls away from a maroon jersey. It is the jersey of Mullen. Malloy, another no-look kind of pass. Oli. It's going to be dropped in. It's a 50-50 at best, and it's a good catch by the UCC defender, but then it's left behind. It's absolute carnage down there. What's the end decision of the referee? Free in. Now, is there any point in kicking this one over, or again, do they have to work the goal, or try to?
It's hard to know. You know, you can ask the ref, and he's going to say there's about 30 seconds left, and then he may blow it up. So I think they probably have to go for it here, Oshie. That was an outside of the left in on top of a blanket defence there. You know, a bad decision from Gavin Burke.
Hauled down and a free in again, but UCC won't mind. They're just protecting that scoring zone.
Yeah, I think it's game up now for NUIG unless they go for Robert Finnerty or Desi Keneally could take a shot here on a wet day. Anything could happen. You don't want to be banging it low along the turf, but it's an interesting last couple of seconds. But I suppose it's go for goal unless the ref sees different on the watch.
And one of them do. Michael Meehan. It's Owen O'Donoghue who has the ball, I think.
He's kicked it over.
Over it goes.
Yeah, there's one more play. It looks like there's one more play.
It was Keneally who tapped it over in the end. So we are set for a grandstand finish. 17 plays 18, one between them. Is there time for one last twist? A foul by Lucy in the centre of the park. Knew exactly what he was doing. Yellow card for Lucy. Malloy. Darcy.
Has to get it in.
Matthew Ruan. Does he carry it further or drop it in? Cuts away from goal. Campbell. Woolley. Running onto it there was O'Sullivan. NUI Galway just cannot break down this UCC wall.
Off the ground, free in.
Free in. Well, it's as dramatic as it gets.
Very, very, very dubious decision, I think, there. I think there was a foul on the play beforehand, but we'll just see it.
Let's have a look. Oh, I'm not sure. I think he got the boot under that one, Cian Gamble.
Yeah,
So, this, to bring it into extra time. It's Keneally. Can he make it two in a row? This is a big one. Has it gone over? It's a wide ball. I think it's heartbreak for NUI Galway because that is probably the last chance.
That was one you'd fancy him for a right-footed kicker, a good kicker on the left side. Disappointing for Desi and disappointing for NUIG. It was a chance there.
Tough conditions, tough angle, so I wouldn't be too hard on him, but he'll still be disappointed not to have put that one over. UCC, the champions, have survived a real scare in Dangan. They have beaten NUI Galway just about 2-12 to 114. Finian Hanley, what did you make of it?
An absolutely enthralling game, fantastic quality affair. NUIG were made to work very hard in the middle and the latter stage of the first half, and probably took a lot out of them coming back at that stage. But it was 50-50 in the end. It could have gone anyway, and NUIG should be proud, but they'd be utterly disappointed that they didn't at least get a draw out of it.
Well, we're going to hear from the UCC side of things in just a couple of moments, but what was that difference in the end?
I think the experience of UCC and the players they have, Sean O'Shea, Killian Spillane, top quality intercounty footballers on display there. Able to mind the ball at times. Other than Robert Finnerty up front, NUIG had to work very, very hard to get scores from anywhere else. But they were well in it. But I think that bit of experience, I think overall UCC in the full length of the game are probably the better team.
This camera here? Well, we're with Billy Morgan, the UCC manager. Billy, as dramatic as it gets, but your team win.
Well, I could not be more proud of them. All the obstacles, thanks to Croke Park. We were missing there 6 inter-county players, injuries. We couldn't prepare. College doesn't actually open until tomorrow, so we had we couldn't prepare. We had no preparation, thanks to Croke Park. And I don't know who's making fixtures up in Croke Park or who the genius up there is, but they're just clearing the decks, for inter-county, it's become an elite association. You see the players that are packing in because there's no future for them. They can't play. And you look, that's another day's work.
Well, let's talk about the actual performance of your team. What was the difference in the end?
Well, the difference was, I think, their heart, and spirit. They fell 4 points to nil behind very early in the game, got themselves together and played some very, very decent football, and we cut open NUIG open several times in that first half. Got 2 very good goals and went 7 points up at one stage. Fair play to NUIG. They came back and brought it down to a point, but our fellas just were not going to give in.
And you'll really benefit from this game and this performance. It's IT Carlow, I think, next.
That's right, next Saturday or Sunday, not sure which. I think we're at home, but it doesn't matter where we're playing. They produce a performance like this, they'll win any game.
OK, for now, Billy, thank you very much. We'll hear from Sean O'Shea in a few moments, but before we do, Finian Hanley is still with us and he's going to have a look at some of the vital scores in this game, and there were some immense ones. So Finian, take it away. We'll be back down here in a second with Sean O'Shea.
Yeah, just some of the scores, top quality scores in the second half of the game. Got dark and got wet, but Robert Finnerty was on fire all day. From frees and from play. He was the real leader from an NUIG point of view, showing for the ball. Kicking from left foot, left side, right foot, right side. He was a thorn in the UCC side all day. He was probably overall man of the match, even though he was on the losing side of the game. Beautiful score here from James Nocton on the right hand side, right foot, right side, obviously in difficult conditions. A top quality player played last night. And I think Jérôme O'Connor, huge performance when he came in there, kicked a great score there. As I said, the subs made a massive contribution. Kieran Malloy here won the ball from the kick out, gave a 1-2 up the pitch, found himself on the 45 and kicked over a beauty. Sean O'Shea there, just as I said, he was quiet by his standards, but that flick up for this score from Killian Spillane, that was probably the winning of the game, and made a huge difference in the end. Yeah, just a free at the end. Desi Keneally, he'd fancy himself on a normal day, just pulled it to the right. He'd be awfully disappointed. I know the conditions are difficult, but he'd be awfully disappointed with that.
Finian, thank you very much. Finian Hanley, former Galway defender, talking you through the highlights of the game today. And there were some highlights, and the man who's standing with me now, Sean O'Shea of Kerry, and of course UCC was central to many of those highlights. Sean, that was a terrific game to watch. What was it like to play in?
Yeah, it was very tough, right down to the wire again. It was the same last year, below Mallow against NUIG, and it was really tough to be out there. It was really tough Sigerson games, it was great to be involved in. It was great. At
the end, you had to defend smartly when they were coming at you in waves. What was that like?
Yeah, it was nearly identical to last year. I remember last year below Mallow lining the goals in the last few minutes. Again, it was the same here. We were 2 points up, I think, with a few minutes to go, and we just had to put our backs to the walls and kind of just try and see it out the best way we could, and thankfully we just about managed to do that.
You didn't start well. You were 4 points to no score down before your first goal went in. What do you put that down to, and how did you get it right?
Yeah, I suppose it's tough this time of year. It's very early in the year for colleges to be out. I mean, we've all kind of been away for Christmas, and it's been very tough to get fellas together and stuff like that. But I suppose that was probably it, really. We hadn't really been playing together. We trained Thursday night for the first time with most fellas together, and we kind of probably took us about 5 or 10 minutes to get used to each other and clicked in. But I mean, we rallied very well after those 4 points. I think we scored 2-2 or 2-3 in the next 5 or 10 minutes, which was a great sign of the lads and great sign going forward.
And this competition, you could see it out there in the end, given the effort that you were putting in, given, I suppose, the emotion that we saw at the full-time whistle. We know how much this means to you, this competition, the Electric Ireland Sigerson Cup.
Yeah, it's absolutely unbelievable. It's a great competition to be part of, and as students, I suppose, one of the main things when you're going to college is to get to play in competitions like this, and as players we really love playing in it, and I suppose it's tough the way it is at the moment. It's kind of all compacted in together, but as I just talking to all the boys, we really love coming up to places like this, real kind of Sigerson venues, no stands or anything on the pitch, just the pitch on its own, and crowd get around it, and really good atmosphere, and it's really good bite on the pitch as well. It's a great game.
Tremendous occasion, tremendous game. Sean O'Shea, well done. That's it from Dangan, where we've brought you two very exciting games today, both finishing with really slender margins. Earlier on today in the Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup, UCC getting a win against NUI Galway, and then, as you've just seen there, Sean O'Shea central to it, UCC, the champions, the defending champions, getting a 1-point victory against NUI Galway. So NUI Galway go out and UCC go on to play IT Carlow. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can follow everything that's going on in the Sigerson Cup and the Fitzgibbon Cup and everything else that's happening in the Higher Education Championships to the Electric Ireland social media channels, also the Higher Education GAA social media channels. From Dangan, from myself and all of the team, it is goodbye.